Hey, I'm Rachel from the Lark's Head Shop, and today I'm going to teach you how to make 3 variations of the square knot. So the 3 knots I'm going to teach you are the spiral knot, the berry knot, and the Picot knot. They're all pretty easy to learn, especially if you already know the square knot, and they're fun ways to kind of mix up the texture and bring in some more variation into your work. So if you're ready, let's go! So the first variation of the square knot that I'm going to teach is the spiral knot. If you know the square knot, then the spiral knot will actually be very easy. I would say actually easier than the square knot itself. So we're going to start this knot the same way as a square knot. So you're going to create your 4 shape, going over, over, and then under the last cord. And then take that last cord on the right, pull it behind and through the corner of your 4 shape. So we're just going to go ahead and tighten that up all the way to the top by pulling on those 2 outer strings. And you're just going to actually repeat this same step. So instead of doing the reverse, like the reverse 4 that you would normally do to complete the square knot, we're just going to do the same side each time. So we're going to make our 4 over, over, and then under, and then loop that through. So what you'll notice with the spiral knot is that it just starts to kind of twist on its own. So you don't want to fight the twist, just kind of let it do its thing, let it spin itself around, and you can just continue tying your first half of the square knot. As you can see, the spiral's already starting to take its shape. I'm just going to continue while keeping tension even the whole way through. And there you have it. You can see the distinct spiral form starting to take shape. And it's as simple as that. All right, now the next variation of the square knot that I'm going to teach you is called the berry knot. It has a couple of different names, berry knot or button knot. Those are some of the most popular names for it. But we are going to start this the same way as the square knot, except at the top you're going to make sure that you leave a little bit of a gap. Don't pull it all the way tight like this, and you will see why later. Okay, now we're just going to continue on and make a chain of square knots. So we're going left to right, just doing a continuous chain of square knots. And I usually go down about 3 full square knots at least, but if you want to make the berry look a little bit larger, you could go a little bit more. So for example, I'll go 3.5 this time. And I measure square knots by the loops on the side, so that's 1, 2, 3. And it doesn't have a full loop on this side, so that's how I know it's 3.5. But anyway, to create the berry shape, what we're going to do is separate the 2 sides, and each side is going to get tucked into the top. So you can kind of poke your finger in through here to create a larger pocket, and you're going to feed the right 2 ends through the loop that you created at the top. I'm not going to pull it all the way tight yet. But now you're going to grab the other 2 ends on the left and feed them through the left side, going from front to back. Pull that a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to keep on pulling until you see it curl up nice and tight. Okay, so as you can see, it's created a cute little berry shape. And this is a great way to add texture, but we're not quite finished yet. You're going to just do a half of a square knot at the bottom and pull it tight. That way it kind of secures the berry knot and makes sure that it won't come undone or come a little bit loose. So there you have it. There's the berry knot. Okay, and now we are on to our last variation of the square knot, and that would be the square knot picot. And to create this knot, we are going to start with a simple square knot at the top. Okay, and now you are going to create another square knot, but you're going to leave a little bit of a gap here between the first square knot and the second square knot. Now once you have your second square knot completed, you're just going to hold these center two cords tight and use your other hand to just gently push up the next square knot. As you can see, it created this little bit of extra loop at the top on either side. And you can kind of play around with how far you space out each square knot, and that will give you a different look. So if you want a really shaggy look, you can leave the ends super long. And if you just want a little bit of texture, you can just leave a tiny little gap in between each section. So again, we're holding the center two strings and then just pushing the square knot up. So this is a really fun way to add a lot of variation and texture to a piece. And then there you have it. That would be the square knot picot. I'm gonna throw you? I'm gonna throw you, I guess. Okay, take 3, maybe? Take 3. Take 10.